Roots of Canadian football run deep here in Hamilton, and today, inside Hamilton Stadium, the home of the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, the past and the present offer a stage for the future. It's the 2025 CanadaFootballChat.com Prospects Game on TSN. Come watch the future of Canada football with us. Canada Matthew Shinetti inside Hamilton Stadium here, and we're going to see the best of high school football here in Hamilton today. A combined 74 players from over 9 provinces, and dozens of schools are going to showcase their talents, and we're going to get right to it. I'm going to send you up to the booth with 2 gentlemen who have an undoubted passion for our game. It's the Vanier Cup champion, Grey Cup champion, and CFL and TSN analyst Dwayne Ford, and the head coach, the 2017 BC Provincial Champion, New Westminster Hyaks, my CFL and TSN colleague, Farhan Lalji. Farhan?
Thank you very much, Matthew. Check is in the mail, and coming into this, Team Sanchez had won 2 straight games. Ches was getting a little big for his britches, so we said when we talked about the top players in this game, we're going to start with Team Steagall, starting on the defensive line.
Yeah, and Team Steagall looking to try and win this game with a couple of impact players in the trenches. As you said, we'll start on the defensive side of the ball. Colton Shaw, young man from Regina, Saskatchewan, Fear Not, Saskatchewan. He confirms he is a Rider fan. This is a guy who I had the occasion to be standing with some of the U Sports scouts on the sidelines when he first jogged out on the field for the opening practice. Everybody kind of looks down and checks their roster to go, who's that dude? This is a guy who looks the part and doesn't just look the part, but plays the part. Tremendous athleticism. We'll see him from his defensive end position likely have an impact over the course of this football game. Runs very well, obviously physically strong kid. Colton Shaw, one of the keys to the defensive line. On the other side of the ball, Zach Corrigan. Very similar description for this guy when we talk about an offensive lineman and talk about his athleticism, competes in track and field as well. We're going to see him play on the interior of the offensive line at center and guard. He tells us that his favorite thing to do is lead the way as a puller. We'll be watching for him on some of those sweep type plays in the early going, looking to set the tone.
Let's switch it over to Team Sanchez. And, you mentioned Shaw and how the coaches reacted to him. There's a guy on the defensive line for Davis's team as well, Khalil Felix. When you look at him, he looks very natural on the football field. He checked a lot of boxes for the scouts.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a young man, Khalil Felix, about 6'3", 215 pounds right now. He's obviously going to grow into that frame. Started off as a receiver, but moved to the defensive line. He likes it better over there because he feels like he controls how much he can impact the game. Definitely a guy who stood out when they got into the competitive type drills, particularly as a pass rusher. Anticipate him being very disruptive when Team Steagall looks to go to the pass game. And then obviously on the other side of the ball, one of the most exciting skill players to me in this ball game, Jason Durrell Onana from Quebec, one of the youngest players playing in this game. This is a guy who, coming out of the tryout process, had created a lot of buzz. Definitely one of the most noticeable players for the talent evaluators through that process, and he lived up to that when they got into the team sessions, the one-on-ones, etc. Certainly one of the busiest receivers in terms of making catches out there, and we hope that translates to game time for him.
Yeah, and when you consider that Onana is finishing up his grade 9 year academically, imagine what this guy's going to look like before he starts college in another 3 years. Shooter?
40 and Farhan, I don't know about you, but when speaking to these boys yesterday, I was fired up for this. Team Steagall against Team Sanchez. Kickoff coming next.
And welcome to Hamilton. These 75 high school players from across the country have plenty of talent, but if you want to make it in this town, you've got to show some grit, you've got to show some toughness and some passion for the game. And this is the culmination of a 6-month-long process of tryouts and combines and competitions across the country to make it to this game. Now, the players are smart. They can handle any rules, but we got some coaches that probably need things simplified for them. So here are the rules for this game. 4-man front, you can't blitz more than one. On offense, no pre-snap cross receiver motion. Special teams, no fakes allowed. No onside punch or kickoffs. Do you think Steagall and Sanchez can handle this?
Well, this is it. We don't want to overwhelm Milton Davis, but for the kids, you want to just let the talent shine through, right, and not complicate the systems too much. They've done an amazing job getting everybody ready to play in just 48 hours.
And the kickoffs, if you've watched some NFL football, you've seen kickoffs like this. You've got the coverage team, they line up on their own 40-yard line. The blockers line up 5 yards apart. The kicker is on his own 40. The receiving team has 2 designated returners. This is kind of all designed to slow down the impact on a fast-moving play like a kickoff. So again, they had to go through it. They had to learn it. They're probably not doing this at their younger levels, but a good thing for them to get adjusted to.
And again, you've got smaller rosters in this kind of game. Guys are going to get lots of reps, so it saves legs a little bit, but also limiting the collisions in terms of special teams with the limited rosters for this game.
Hudson Svetkovic, one of the 2 men back to receive. Thatcher Manuel from Charles P. Allen High School in Nova Scotia. We've got some wind here, so they've got to tee up the ball for him with one of his teammates. All right, here we go. The pickup, the return. That's Dexter Dunlop from All Saints in Ontario with the return. A little trickery, almost. Fake trickery.
Yeah, show a little bit of misdirection. Set the tone there and maybe setting things up for a little bit later in this ball game. Jake Mitchell in on the tackle for Team Sanchez.
Team Steagall on offense to start this game. It's Caden Barnstable from Bow Valley, Alberta, who will be the starting quarterback. He won that on a coin flip.
Yes.
With his teammate Brandon Bailey. We'll be able to talk about both of those guys before this game is over. The quick handoff here, it's Jasper Barron. Nice opening on the right sideline. The kid from Coquitlam, BC, wrestled out of bounds at the Team Sanchez 49-yard line. Good opening play for Team Red.
Dude, nice job getting the ball out on the perimeter. You're going to see a terrific double team working up to second level here from the guard and tackle on the right side of that offensive line. For Team Steagall, you've got Evan Healy at center, Lucas Lindley, big man from Bowness High School in Calgary, at guard, working his way there. Nice bounce on the run for Jasper.
Barron behind Carnstable. The handoff again. Bounces right, cuts back inside. Takes a big hit. Ball comes out, but it's after the whistle.
Yeah, Team Steagall, I think, benefited from a quick whistle on that one.
Let's take a look at this hit. I believe it's Tristan Downey. Downey, one of the 2 men.
Yeah, I believe Neziah Barton, number 30, the linebacker, delivering the impact there, freeing up the ball. I think he learned that one from his uncle, Sheldon Benoit, one of my former teammates with the Toronto Argonauts.
One of many Football North players here. Neziah Barton with the tackle. Still a gain of 7. That brings up 2nd and 3 for Team Red. Now the quick pitch to Barron. 3rd straight carry. Can he get outside? No, he gets turned back inside. And a perfect form tackle right there. That's Tavon Palmer, also from Football North in Clarkston. They teach him how to tackle well there.
This is it, Tavon Palmer providing run support from the secondary, and this is just a magnificent form tackle. When we talk about keeping things simple in terms of the rules and the schemes and so on, and just letting the talent and ability of the players shine through, terrific example of it there for Mr. Palmer.
Tackle for loss -1 on the play brings up 3rd and 4. Milt in a gambling mood early, going for it here in plus territory. We'll see if Carnstable throws the ball for the first time in this game, and he looks to, misses his target, looking for Dexter Dunlop. When we come back, Team Sanchez. Davis, 2-1 in this series. We'll see if he can add to it here.
The first quarter of the CFC Prospects game is brought to you by NFL Canada.
Team Steagall going for it on 3rd down on their first drive. They can't convert, so Team Steagall gets it here, and it is Jacob Muller, the only player in this game who played in it last year. And he certainly fared well. He's already got an NCAA scholarship offer from Ivy League Penn University in Philadelphia, and he looks the part. He's added some strength, he's added some weight, Should be a good one here today for him. Muller with the handoff to Serrani Brown. Not much doing there. Great job of swarming to the ball carrier by the Team Steagall defense. No gain on the play.
Well, we talked in the opening about Team Steagall looking to try and win this game at the line of scrimmage. Watch the play on the interior of the defensive line here. Big number 71, Pascal Robichaud, representing New Brunswick, sheds the block and makes a play.
2nd and 10, Muller back to pass, steps up into the pocket, has a receiver, but just overthrows William Gill on the left sideline. At 3rd and 10, it looks like Team Sanchez will punt. Now you're going to see, go ahead.
Yeah, just in terms of the color scheme, I think we were both thinking the same thing watching some of the special teamers come out on the field. Obviously, you're seeing Team Sanchez in black, Team Steagall in red. The long snappers and kickers in this game are going to participate for both teams. So those are the white jerseys you see. And obviously, a lot of this has to do with just making sure that there's equal participation for those players to showcase their skills.
And we've got 3 separate kickers and 1 long snapper. They'll all work for both teams. That was almost blocked. Dunlop with the return. Great job catching that short kick. Gets a few yards up the left sideline where Team Steagall takes over on their own 51-yard line.
Well, Sam Preston back to punt. Got this one just under the arms of the oncoming rusher from Team Steagall.
Dan Pilkington almost gets that. Let's take a look again at Caden Barnstable, who is the starting quarterback out of Cochrane, Alberta. Plays for Bow Valley High School. Been a quarterback for the last 5 years. A big Josh Allen fan. This time the handoff, it's Ryan Dare. Let's take a look at the Team Steagall offense, Dwayne.
Yes, sir. Terrific group. We talked a little bit about the offensive line for this group. Saw Lucas Lindley in action on some successful running plays in that opening drive. Dexter Dunlop has been a busy guy in the early going, participating in the return game, as well as a receiver for Team Steagall.
Good carry on first down, brings up 2nd and 5 just across midfield. The handoff again to Dare. Not as much room this time. He's held well short by the Team Sanchez defense.
Yeah, Team Sanchez got gashed a little bit on a couple of runs in the opening possession.
But you know, Team Sanchez
up.
never liked to tackle, or like Sanchez himself never liked to tackle back in the day. He was kind of that ankle biter. The coaches will have their say. They'll be able to tell us what they think in a moment.
Yeah, we'll get all our trash talk out of the way before we open up their mics.
Thatcher Manuel on to punt for Team Steagall. Bit of a low line drive kick. Gets inside the 20. Looks like Serrani Brown on the return. Not much doing there. Good job of coverage by Team Steagall. No points yet. When we come back, Team Sanchez starts from deep in its own end. Yeah, if you think these two guys aren't keeping score, you clearly don't know them very well. They were keeping score in the gym the other day. They've been running one-on-ones. I can tell you right now that Davis Sanchez is 2-1 as a head coach. Milt is 1-1. He won last year's game, guys. You having fun yet?
Oh, we're definitely having fun. We're definitely having fun, and the chess match is on. I'll be soon screaming checkmate, but we're just setting up our opponent right now, getting them going.
I know this. We saw some thumping early. That 30 and 6, both thumping out there. I love it.
Come on, get him, guys, get him.
Keaton Belcher with the reception and the quick pass from Muller. Good enough for a first down. Gets past the 30-yard line.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of the speed of Keaton Belcher out there. This is a young man who's run a sub-11 second. 100 meters as a track and field athlete. Just get the ball out quickly, let the quarterback make that high percentage throw. Jacob Muller leading the way. Offensive line gets a little bit of confidence with the pass protection and the quick game early on.
Muller drops back to pass, looks quick inside. That's Jason Durrell-Onana. We talked about him in the pregame. Just in grade 9. Milt, you got to love this kid. I know he's not on your team, but this guy's got some talent.
Jason Onana is as quick as I have seen in a while. I saw him yesterday at practice, guys, and believe me, we'll find some ways to get him the ball in space because he can move and he'll tell you about it too, which I love.
Chaz, you're a coach. You're not analyzing the game. Coach, son. Turnover, baby. Turnover.
2nd and 6 for Muller. This time the handoff, not much going here. Serrani Brown bounces it outside, but the Steagall defense is all over it for a 2-yard tackle for loss.
Yeah, the corner, Rennie Jackson. Of Dalbevio in Quebec. Staying at home.
Way to tighten it up, D. Way to tighten it up.
A little misdirection as they used the receiver Onana in motion prior to that play, suggesting the ball might be coming his way.
Matthias Pisa back for the punt here from his own 17-yard line. Dunlop and Svetkovic back to receive again. Again, pressure on the punt leads to a short kick. Bounces backwards. Penalty flags come out. We've got a no yards there, and great field position coming up here for Team Steagall. Team Steagall knocking at the door after a great defensive play.
Well, have the honor of calling our 5th CanadaFootballChat.com prospect game here. You see the results of the first 4. Coach Sanchez, a couple of wins. First man to 2 wins in this race, but Team Steagall with the momentum after a rather dominant victory a year ago, Farhan.
Yeah, it was pretty one-sided. I know that it took Chaz a while to get over that. Carden Stable with the quick pass on the left side. Jake Archambault, ball is out, and it looks like Team Sanchez has it. Jake Mitchell with the recovery.
Big defensive play there. Mitchell fly into the football, came up with the tackle. I may be calling for a replay review on that one, but Mitchell with the tackle. Max Suganyako out of Marie-Rivier in Quebec. Another guy fly into the football, comes up with the recovery.
Team Sanchez has had tough field position for this entire game. Jacob Cusker now in at quarterback. The 6'5" Cusker underthrows his target on the right side, looking for the running back out of the backfield.
Yeah, looking for a quick hitter there for Jacob Cusker coming in for his first play. Again, letting the quarterback get a little bit of confidence. Kind of play where you get the ball out quickly.
I've had the misfortune of coaching against Jacob Cusker since he was about 8 years old, maybe even younger. And he won a lot of those games, which is why I say misfortune, but part of a very, very good football family led by his late grandfather, Bruce, who would have definitely been here. Bruce was a leader and builder throughout the province of British Columbia, ran a couple of different minor football organizations. This time, Cusker looks over the middle, underthrows Onana on 2nd and 10, and it looks like Team Sanchez will punt.
That came out looking for a big play on 2nd and 10, unable to connect on the pass across the middle.
Dunlop and Svetkovic have had plenty of work so far. They line up around their own 40-yard line. Pisa again on to punt, a high snap. Pisa's got to scramble a bit, does manage to get the kickoff. This time he gets a favorable bounce. Dunlop again on the return. Might have some room if he can get the corner on the right side. Team Sanchez in good pursuit. And that's Neziah Barton with the tackle.
Dan, see why you don't go in?
No points yet, but we've had one turnover thanks to Jake Mitchell, who knows all about this place. Matthew will have his story when we come back.
Go get it.
Jake Mitchell has spent plenty of time on the football field here. He's got a pretty special connection. With more on that, here's Matthew.
No doubt about it, Farhan. I've actually seen Jake Mitchell as a very, very young boy grow up here at inside Hamilton Stadium, because he is the son, with the pedigree and the family that he has in the Canadian Football League, of Ticat CEO Scott Mitchell, and the grandson of former Canadian Football Commissioner Doug Mitchell. Now, when we spoke to him yesterday, the one thing that Jake Mitchell told us as a teenager is he doesn't want to be handed anything, and though he's been here so often, he doesn't see this any bigger or anything other than just any other game. If you're watching the way that intensity he's played with, guys, the visor that he has, the way he's kind of prowling around in the linebacker position, who does it remind you of? Well, Simone Lawrence, and that who Jake trains with 2 months out of the year. And though the advice from Simone to Jake is always focused, I think there's an equal measure of intensity in his game, guys.
How about Scott Mitchell with the father iPhone? You don't trust our camera work, Scott?
Well, Scott was a decent player. Vanier Cup champion at U of T in '93. But I think Jake's got him beat.
Yeah, Jake's made an impact, no doubt. Let's take a look at Team Sanchez D, led by Mitchell.
Yeah, pretty good group over there. No surprise. We'll keep an eye as well on Tristan Buckner in that defensive secondary, a member of that Football North program that we talked about. Defensive line, watch for number 92, Darren Armstrong, from his defensive tackle spot when he gets in that rotation. One of the strongest players playing in this ball game, a Hamilton guy.
Jasper Barron with a 6-yard gain on first down, brings up 2nd and 4 for Caden Barnstable. The handoff again to Barron, fighting his way close to first down yardage. Good job by the defense of Team Sanchez. Probably going to come up about 2 yards short. We've seen Team Steagall go for it once already in this situation. Will they do it again?
All confidence from Coach Steagall over there.
Go. Come on. Come on. Let's get this first.
No hesitation on the 3rd down gamble.
3rd and 2, still looking for our first points, but there have been some positive plays. I think Jasper Barron has probably been the standout of this game so far, at least offensively.
Yeah, set the tone in that ground game in the opening series.
Ready, go.
Barron again has some room, cuts back, has the first down, and a lot more. Crosses the 30, the 20, the 15, almost down to the 10-yard line before being brought down by Mateo McDonnell, who saves the touchdown for Team Sanchez. Team Steagall knocking at the door.
We'll see number 33, Jasper Barron in the backfield. Watch how he attacks right up the middle, and then a great cut, terrific footwork as he sees the defender in the hole, bounces it to the outside. Second big gain of the day.
Barron and McDonnell play in the same conference, so this fall they're going to get a good long look at one another in the lower mainland of BC. And more impressive, honestly, was the double team block on the left side of that offensive line. They made the opportunity. All right, 1st and goal. Can we see the first points of the game here? Caden Barnstable drops back to pass, looks deep, has a man, and he's got a touchdown. That is Ben McCauley from Notre Dame High School in Red Deer with the game's opening points. Beautiful catch for 6.
Yeah, terrific concentration there by Ben McCauley. Nicely placed football from Caden Barnstable. Get a look here at the protection up front. Clearing a beautiful throwing lane. McCauley goes up and high points the ball. Lots of practice doing that in the backyard, competing with his twin brother Brad, who's a defensive back.
That's awfully convenient for a receiver.
Yes.
You've either got to have a quarterback or a defensive back around you. See, that looked like what his mom would have done. Tanya, who played basketball at the University of Lethbridge, probably going up for a rebound. I think that's where he got that from.
That's a good one, I like shit.
Mateus Pisa, who's punted twice in this game, on to attempt the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0, finally some points with 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go here in the first.
Yeah, Team Steagall we saw in the opening possession. Kind of started fast, moving the ball in the ground game, and it was Jasper Barron again who proved to be the catalyst on this offensive drive. And Caden Barnstable, as he kind of settles in to a little bit of a groove at quarterback. The nice Alberta connection there. Bow Valley and Cochrane to Red Deer Notre Dame.
The receiver appreciates it. CFL all-time leader in touchdown receptions right there. I thought Christian Zapavinga, the defensive back, was in pretty good position, but he just goes up and makes the play.
Yeah, well-placed football, nice concentration for Ben McCauley.
All right, so it is now Team Steagall's chance to kick off here. We've got Sam Preston from Salisbury High School in Edmonton. Deep to receive for Team Sanchez. Brian Guida. Guida takes it at his own 25-yard line. Not much room there. Gets it to about the 35 before being brought down. Let's take a look at the Team Sanchez offense.
Yeah, as this group looks to answer. You get a look at the offensive line. Mateo Capolongo, one of the leaders, more experienced players on that group. I want to keep an eye on Curtis Harper, number 16, amongst the backs and receivers, kind of an H-back, fullback, tight end sort of player. Very versatile, big, strong athlete. Watch for him getting involved as a receiver here.
Jacob Cusker again in the backfield for Team Sanchez. Looks for the running back who's not there. Bootlegs to his right. Has a receiver open. That's William Gill. Nice gain on the play. Nice easy completion for Cusker. Moves the sticks. Gain of 17 on the play.
Nice play call. Nice execution here. Like the idea of getting that pocket moving a little bit. Give the defense something to think about. Maybe a little confusion off the play action there, but well-timed play. William Gill, the College Laval former basketball player, turned 1,000-yard receiver, committed to play Cégep football next year at André Grasset.
Looks like we've got our second penalty flag of the game, possibly procedure right here.
Procedure, Team Sanchez, number 54. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
Well, we talked about the speed of Team Steagall defensive end. Colton Shaw, he's the man who was lined up in front of Garrett Weir. I think Weir very aware of that, knew he had to get on his horse a little bit to take his pass set on that one. Twitched a little early.
Cusker on 1st and 15. Quick throw to the right side, has a completion. Keaton Belcher, his second catch of the game, gets 12 yards back, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 2 to go. Let's take a look at the Team Steagall D.
Yeah, and we'll certainly look at some of the coverage guys in this group for Team Steagall. Xavier Sengi, we liked his story of how he ended up being a defensive back. And again, on the defensive, taking a look at that defensive line, Zion Streeter from LaSalle, Quebec. Athletic, long defensive end. Another one of those guys noticeable in the practice sessions.
The handoff here. That's Miguel Santos. Nothing doing. Big tackle for loss on the play. That's Dan Pilkington again, making his presence felt in this game.
Yeah, Dan Pilkington plays his club ball for the Gloucester Raiders in the Ottawa area. Just shooting the gap, making a play, and it's personal for Daniel Pilkington in this ball game. Chris Colson, the offensive coordinator for the opposing team. His son is a good friend of Pilkington, the defender.
Colson, in fact, is the guy that got Pilkington involved in football. Might regret that after this play. Meanwhile, Dunlop, no, that's Svetkovic. No yards there. Some room. He bounces off one tackle. A lot of room for Svetkovic. Crosses midfield, gets down to the 52-yard line. Plus, you'll get the penalty yardage on the play. So Team Steagall, who's already got the first points on the board, they've had good field position all game. They're going to get it again
yards. Here. Team Sanchez, number 4, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Team Steagall gets a play from probably the player that Coach Milt knows best.
Hey, 2 backs in the huddle, 2 backs.
In Hudson Svetkovic, his dad Chris, of course, longtime CFL fullback and long snapper with Saskatchewan, and a teammate and good buddy of Milt's in Winnipeg. Had a great opportunity to chat a little bit with Chris during the week. There he is. His partner in crime, Phil Gibson, by the way, another former CFLer, alongside him in the bleachers.
See one of their players there? Even if you touch the ball, you get to 15 yards, you know that, and we're going to get the penalty, so we're going to get the ball, so yeah.
Colton Shaw, the injured player for Team Steagall. You don't want to lose him. Doesn't look too serious.
Yeah, I see him flexing that left hand a little bit. Wonder if it might be a stinger, just that tingling down the arm sometimes you get after a collision.
Talked about Shaw in the opening. His great uncles both were members of the 1966 Saskatchewan Rough Rider Grey Cup team.
Yeah, Wayne and Cliff Shaw. A couple of Rider greats.
This guy's been watching the Riders play for a long time. Father also played at the University of Saskatchewan and coached Shaw at LaRange, product of Leboldus High School in Saskatchewan.
Suggests, by the way, that Logan Furland is his favorite current rider.
Set, ready, go to the field.
All right, the quick handoff. That's Ryan Dare from his running back spot, takes it across the formation, picks up about 4 yards, and that is the first quarter. One touchdown, and it came right here with a beautiful catch on the left sideline by Ben McCauley. His coach, pretty happy about it. Let's take a look at the first quarter stats. Pretty big advantage here for Team Steagall, led by Jasper Barron, and his 73 rushing yards had the one big carry. What about the rushing yards for Team Sanchez?
Well, clearly Coach Ches has got to get that offensive line going and get the ground game going a little bit, generate a little bit of momentum. Possession game, give their defense a bit of a break. But yeah, Jasper Barron and that Team Steagall run game have been big so far.
Yeah, Barron was the MVP of the CFC youth game a couple of years ago when they were doing that, and just no shortage of confidence and physicality in terms of how he runs the football.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I know he battled injuries a little bit during his regular season with Centennial, so no doubt nice for him to get out and get things going here today.
One of 3 Centennial Centaurs in the game, Jacob Cusker, the quarterback, one of his teammates, and Dino Jeremiah, here on the sidelines helping out with CFC evaluations throughout the process, and one of the coaches in this game. All right, that is Jacob Muller with the rollout as he opens the second quarter, a quarterback for Team Steagall. We mentioned this is his second year playing in this game, right on the money with that rollout. I take it back, that was Brandon Bailey. I've got my teams backwards here. The other Football North quarterback.
And Bailey, definitely known as a guy who likes to use his legs a little bit.
My apologies to his father, Jay, who went to your alma mater, Western.
You're just coming after the Western guys, eh? Jay, a 94 Vanier Cup champion with the Mustangs.
This time the give, Ryan Dare, again, the ball carrier. Not much going for Dare in this one.
Khalil Felix in the middle of things here. Watch out at the left side of your screen for number 29. Khalil Felix at defensive end. He's seen enough of the big runs. Takes on that block with the inside shoulder as Dare tries to bounce that. Felix reels him in.
Good open field tackle. We mentioned Felix is just one of those players that looks great in a uniform. He just flows well. He's got a real good feel for the game, and sky's the limit for him with 2 more years of high school to go. This time Bailey steps up into the pocket. He's going to keep it, takes off, crosses the 15-yard line, close to first down yardage. Might be a little bit short, but a very good run on the play. Certainly will put his team in position to go for it here.
We've talked about a number of Football North players participating in this game. Looked like a little friendly talk between he and his teammate Tavon Palmer, the safety at the end of that play. But we know that, again, attacking the defense using his legs, a big part of the skill set for Brandon Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey was the JV starter at Football North last year and put up some wins against some of the top programs in the United States, and will compete with Muller for the starting spot this season. This time the hand roll. Jacob Woodlock, the H-back, gets taken down by places where he shouldn't be taken down, Dwayne.
Yeah, tackle up high. I don't think there was much question about the face mask on that
Unnecessary
team.
roughness. Team Sanchez, number 14. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The defensive end, Jake Stadler. Just trying to get a piece of something. Accidental play, obviously, as he had just come off his block. Came in up high on Whitlock.
That takes the ball down to the 1-yard line. First and goal for Team Steagall as they look to build on their 7-0 lead after the first quarter.
Timeout. Team Steagall.
Want to make sure they get this right, given the field position. Don't miss the opportunity. Don't blow it, Milt.
I wonder if they've put in a quarterback sneak. Maybe work the handoff on the sideline, a little tush push.
Yeah, well, we mentioned just 2 days of practices for these young men to get ready for this game. It's remarkable the amount of information that they absorb and are able to apply when they get out on the field.
Which is why when Milton Davis showed up, they kept it real simple.
That's right.
Brandon Bailey, you mentioned his father.
Try to find a shoot again.
Get off the ball up front.
Somebody shoot a gap. Hey, somebody shoot a gap, make a play. Let's go. Goal line, make a play.
Coach Ches knows his defense needs a stop here.
I mentioned Brandon Bailey, the quarterback for Team Steagall here, originally from Vancouver, moved to Football North prior to last season.
Yeah, that's Mississauga, Ontario, so coming all the way across the country.
But if you're going to learn, if you're going to go somewhere to learn quarterback play, Edgar Garcia, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Football North, is definitely the guy to do it with. And he's got 2 guys in this building or in this game right now, and both of them certainly look the part. All right, Bailey getting under center here.
Ready, go.
With the give, this time Ryan Dare falls into the end zone for the touchdown. No mistake for Team Steagall.
Well, the big boys at the line of scrimmage have done a terrific job so far, and why not put your faith in them with points on the line when you're Team Steagall.
Stanislas Berniat from Marie Riviere in Quebec. He's made a couple of big blocks in this game from that left tackle spot.
Yeah, told me yesterday his favorite offensive lineman. Not bad for a kid from Quebec, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Pretty good example right there.
Super Bowl champion.
On the field, in the classroom. We've got an injured player in the end zone for Team Sanchez, who now trail 13-0. Now, it was a blowout last year. I'm a little nervous for Davis right now.
Well, we'll see what answers Davis has got over there on the sidelines to get his team back in this ball game.
I saw you hit the Heisman. I got him on.
Let's take a look at the injured player. Darren Armstrong from Westdale, Ontario, the defensive tackle. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, Darren's a tough dude. Westdale secondary here in Hamilton. I would anticipate he'll be back.
Darren bench presses 440 pounds and he squats 635 pounds. He just turned 16.
Yeah, and this is one of the guys that came to see us on CFL Draft Day in studio to promote this game, and can tell you out of pads he's just as intimidating.
Manuel gets everything on the kick, but it doesn't get between the uprights. 13-0 is the score. Here's a look at the touchdown and the good work by the offensive lineman on the left side to put their team up 13-0.
The second quarter of the CFC Prospects game is brought to you by Area 51, the sports industry's best kept secret. Area51sports.ca.
Well, nice job up front here once again. If you take a look at the front side of this play, fullback Jacob Whitlock is going to lead his way up on the linebacker. Meets him in the hole. You see center and guard get on their men. And the running back in behind, Ryan Dare, just drops his shoulder to help move the pile. There you see some of the big fellas. Jacob Petrick in at guard on that play. From Elk Point, Alberta.
All right, the kickoff taken by Brian Guaya. Gets it out to about the 32-yard line where Team Sanchez takes over. Now, you'll like this. Through 5.5 quarters of football, Team Steagall has outscored Team Sanchez 49-9.
I mean, you look at the careers of these guys, and Milt Steagall was all about putting the ball in the end zone. And so it clearly translates here as a coach, but Chance, we need some picks. You got to represent.
We will score on this drive. Watch.
Wow. All right, here we go. And now Jacob Muller into the game. As a receiver, that's Onana on the right sideline. Big play by the youngster we were expecting throughout this game.
Yeah, we heard Coach Ches tell us a little bit earlier they would find ways to get the ball into this young man's hands. Let's take a look at how he got open on this one. Little stem to the inside, bounces it back outside to get over top.
He doesn't trip, he's probably still going with that speed.
Yeah, Jacob Muller puts the ball in a pretty good place.
Down to the 46-yard line.
Ready, go! Wide out! Wide out! Go!
Muller drops back to pass, doesn't find anyone, finds a lane, then wisely slides after a pickup of about 4 yards. Logan Woolsey right there, one of his teammates from Clarkson, so he might have taken it easier on him anyway. You never know.
Well, we mentioned Jacob Muller, the most experienced quarterback in this ball game, participated in the Prospects game a year ago. Young man with an offer from Penn already. A good recognition there, quick decision making, recognizing, didn't see anything downfield, take what you can get.
Quick throw, Keaton Belcher with the reception. Positive gain on second down. Not going to get the first though. Probably around 2 yards short, and if what we've seen, actually we've got a team down 13-0, they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, I love the aggressive approach by Team Sanchez on this possession. Coming out, slinging the ball, attacking a little bit, put the ball in the hands of some of your playmakers, and Onana and Belcher are guys that we've seen.
Let's get some with Jake. Get some with Jake on the move. Get some with Jake on the move. He has options.
Team Sanchez.
See, now the problem is I think Milt was able to hear that.
Stay two back, guys. Stay two back. Hey.
Davis, you know Milt can hear that.
Stay by.
Milt's got to figure out who he's talking about, though.
Wizard Blue Sally, pedal gator. Okay.
Like I say, why is Davis trying to coach offense? That's like me telling somebody about their hairdo.
I started on the strong side.
Yeah, you got it. 2-2 Wizard Blue Sally, pedal gator. Okay, we got it.
Guys, hold up. Let's go.
Here we go.
O-line, we need this one. Hold up, O-line, hold up. We need this one. Let's go. Find a way. Make a play.
There you hear the voice of veteran U Sports coach Chris Colson, the offensive coordinator for Team Sanchez in this ball game. One of the things I love about the week of this game is the fraternity amongst the U Sport coaches and the way that they get involved. Love coaching these guys. Really put a lot of time and effort into it.
Muller's put on 25 pounds since last year's game, and one of the reasons is he wants to be a bit more durable and explosive in the run game. We've seen him take off a couple of times here already. Let's see what he does here with the play fake. Makes the pass, and will he get there? Let's see what the spot is.
Need a generous spot. It's going to be very close.
Let's go, rebel in.
They might have to bring out the sticks here. Look at Davis lobbying on the sideline there.
There you go.
Oh!
Nice job.
He got the generous spot.
There you go.
Hey, great call from Coach Colson over there.
Generous.
And beautiful execution. Jacob Muller to Curtis Harper. Quick hitter there.
Surprised Davis didn't grab the official and move him to the yard mark. This time the give, Serrani Brown.
Here we go, let's go, two back.
Yeah, nice patience on the run there from Serrani as he let the blocks develop in front of him. Brown from a high school with a great football tradition, Notre Dame in Calgary. Number of players in the Canadian Football League. Also Dean Leonard and Eamon Ogbongbemige in the National Football League coming from that Notre Dame program.
Dave DeLuzio, the head coach there. Muller on 2nd and 7. Good ball right there to Keaton Belcher. Good enough for the first down at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Work those two over there.
Yeah. Belcher from Central Collegiate, Saskatchewan.
His younger brother, we mentioned the receiver DB combination. His younger brother's the quarterback and may start for his team in the fall as a 10th grade. So he's looking forward to catching passes from his little brother if it works out that way.
Hoping to have that opportunity. Dad Colin, also a former quarterback with the Saskatoon Hilltops.
Younger brother's name is Hudson. Muller back to pass, looking into the end zone for another touchdown. Great catch.
I told you. What I tell you, bro? Let's go.
Chezzy, I will never doubt you again. With a promise from the book of Mark Messier, guaranteed success.
This is football. We can say that, Joe Nate.
Yes.
It's your ball, boy. It's your ball,
Great job of adjusting to this ball, which is just a little bit behind.
Yeah, another good route. Pretty good coverage on the play, but with the ball in the air, Jason Onana goes and gets it.
Theo Gonzalez in coverage.
Again, Gonzalez well positioned on the play.
You did good, bro.
But Onana would not be denied.
Sam Preston with the kick. Looks like he got under it. Bit of a pitching wedge there. Doesn't get to the upright, so they'll have to settle for 6 and pull to within 1 score.
Let's get the ball back here.
Team Sanchez strikes again with the grade 9 receiver, Onana.
Well, Team Sanchez came out throwing the ball, and that pays immediate dividends. Contested catch here for Jason Onana. For Coach Chez's team's first major of the ball game. I think they sent a little bit of a message on that drive.
Yeah, we got ourselves a game that caps a 7-play, 78-yard drive that went 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Included a critical third down gamble. So they were able to convert.
Manuel on with the kick. Svetkovic with the return inside his own 5-yard line. Took advantage of the wind on that kickoff. Svetkovic cannot break the tackle on the left side there. Let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti, who's with a special guest.
Yeah, it's always good to be joined by Lee Barrett, the president of football, CanadaFootballChat.com. First of all, congratulations. This is the 5th edition of this Prospects game. Take us through how we got here.
Well, it's been difficult, but it's been great. I mean, to run a successful event like that, you have to have great partners. And way back in the day in 2018, when I sat down with PG and he shared the vision, so I got to thank him. He's passed the baton to Arden. And I've got to thank the Red Blacks who did the same thing. Again, we passed the baton there to the Tiger Cats and the players, the coaches, the scouts, the game officials, and CFC staff have made this tremendous.
I know the talent we can see on the field, but why would a top prospect want to play in this game?
Well, there's a multitude of reasons. It's the only game in Canada with best-on-best competition. The only game in Canada where you're going to be on TSN. The only game in Canada where North America's watching. It's the only game in Canada where it's a professional atmosphere. You're going to network with guys you're going to play with at the next level. You're going to network with guys you're going to play with at the pros. I mean, we had our first guys from the first game drafted this year. There's going to be more drafted next year from that first game. And we just got, I think the players know about this game. We got to get more adults to know about the game, so when they can help them make the decision to participate, they're on board.
It's an excellent sell, but for those who want to be involved in next year's 6th edition in 2026, how can they get involved?
They got to go to CanadaFootballChat.com, submit their player profile. It's free. Even if they submitted it 6 months ago or 2 years ago, update it. You can always update it. So submit the profile, and then we're going to contact you when we have our next selection camps in 2026.
Always a pleasure, Lee. Thanks for this.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you, gentlemen. Brandon Bailey takes off and gets a real big gain for Team Steagall as they try to bounce back after that last touchdown out to his own 52-yard line, gain of 34 on the play. Nice run by the Vancouver product, currently playing here at Football North. Bailey drops back, finds a receiver, the quick pass, Ben McCauley, who scored the first touchdown of the game. Lee mentioned those players that were drafted this time around from the first game in 2019. Let's take a look.
Yeah, our first round of Prospect Game alumni to reach their draft year in the Canadian Football League. Ty Anderson in camp right here in Hamilton with the Ticats. Colby Herford stays local, University of Alberta products. Both of those two guys. Herford rather staying with Edmonton. Max von Muhldorfer. Western Mustang with the Calgary Stampeders.
Max is your adopted son, isn't he? Bailey on the move again. This guy's not known for his legs necessarily. Certainly a good athlete, but more of a passer. Talked about just wanting to move the sticks, and he's doing that with his legs.
Yeah, I know that using his athleticism is something that Brandon Bailey is obviously very proud of. Doing a terrific job of it here, recognizing the opportunities and being smart about it, right? Protecting the football, protecting himself when he gets out on the move.
Another first down, 2 first downs on this drive, courtesy of Bailey running the football.
Yeah, has given his team a little bit of momentum back after the Team Sanchez score. A couple of big stops defensively to start the series, as you saw offensive coordinator for Team Steagall, Jansen Shrub, former U Sports quarterback, doing a terrific job now as a coach.
The fake drops back to pass, scrambles to his left and misses a receiver. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Team Steagall.
Yeah, tough throw getting the shoulders around on that one for Bailey as he's moving to his left, trying to throw to a receiver who's going left to right across the field. Intended receiver there was Blake Schaefer out of Catholic Central in Lethbridge.
Schaefer's favorite hobby is wakeboarding.
Yes.
Like spending time at the family cabin in Montana. Says when he's not training for football or playing football, he loves being there and will be there very soon this summer.
No doubt.
I assure you that it'll be warmer than it is out here in Hamilton today. 2nd and 10 for Brandon Bailey and Team Steagall. This time the designed run off the fake. Little quarterback draw action. Picks up about 6 yards. Not going to get there for the first down. We've already seen Team Steagall go for it twice on 3rd down.
Yeah, I think the defense is ready for the cold run on this one, recognizing the damage that Brandon Bailey had already done. Nice job there by Max Suganyako. Track down the running
Who's the end on the top side? Ryan? Ryan, tell him watch the quarterback. Watch the quarterback keep on the top.
Ryan, watch the cue!
Quarterback keep, RPO, RPO.
All right, they're going for it again. 3rd and 4 from the 33-yard line. They've got Bailey on the move. Looks to throw, has a receiver. Perfect pass by Brandon Bailey. And Ben McCauley's going to score his 2nd touchdown of the game.
I'll tell you what, Coach Ches was on the right track with this one. Get a good look at the celly here. One of these things is not like the others. Milt always loved a good celebration during his playing days, passing that on to his players, but you'll see Ryan North, the defensive end, he got the message. He's fighting outside to contain, does a good job to contain it, but instead of keeping, Brandon Bailey's going to throw and delivers a strike here to one of his favorite targets, Ben McCauley, for the touchdown.
Very good read, very good throw to the Red Deer product.
I saw you jumping in there.
And I know Ben wanted to give a shout out to his coach at Notre Dame High School, Adam Donovan, whom he says has taught me everything. Well, you taught him well, Coach Donovan. Ben having a heck of a day here today.
Matias Pisa on to attempt the PAT, can't get there. When these guys get into high school, they don't have the extra long PATs like they do in the CFL. Ben McCauley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and Team Steagall back in front by 2 scores.
Well, Team Steagall answers the touchdown from Team Sanchez on the strength of the mobility of quarterback Brandon Bailey. A couple of nice runs for him that time. Getting out on the edge to deliver a strike to Ben McCauley, who has his 2nd major of the day.
Kickoff fielded by Serrani Brown. Let's see if he can break something here as Team Sanchez looks to score again and get back into this game. The penalty's not going to help here. One coach pretty happy. He's been dominating the other for the last year and a half.
Steagall, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Is it June yet? Week 1 of the CFL season is just around the corner. It kicks off with a big Thursday night game on opening week with the Red Blacks in Saskatchewan to take on the Riders. We've got the Argos and Alouettes. After that, it's the Ticats against the Stampeders, and it wraps up with Snoop in BC, the Elks, taking on the Lions in front of a sold-out crowd at BC Place.
As we're seeing some pretty good quarterback play here today, how about Trey Ford versus Nathan Rourke to open the season?
That should be a lot of fun. Jake Mueller looking deep, just overthrows William Gill. Team Steagall has scored touchdowns on 3 straight drives. We had Davis guarantee before the last drive that his team was going to score.
Yeah, he's got a long field on this one, but certainly would be big as we get late in this first half for Team Sanchez to get it going. Pretty good numbers throwing the ball for quarterback Jacob Mueller here in the opening half. There's the man with the Team Sanchez touchdown, Jason Durrell Onana.
Mueller on 2nd and 10 from his own 9, the draw play. Serrani Brown breaks a couple of tackles. Not going to get close to first down yardage, though. And from this position on the field, I don't know that Team Sanchez can be aggressive. Oh, boy.
How many? No, we're going. No, go. No.
Here we go. 2 back, 2 back, 2 back.
Wow.
Blue able.
This play right here could decide the game.
Swing and stick concept.
Like, that's what we're talking about here.
Hey, he is a gambler. He is a gambler.
I can attest to that.
Yes.
I've been to Vegas with Ches.
Well, we often hear Ches giving us his picks for the week. And he's betting on his offense here.
Timeout, Team Sanchez.
All that space in the field, work on down.
Their last and final timeout for the half.
Seeing what I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, okay.
Just flop him.
Looks like they're trying to find a matchup.
Let's slap Onana and 84 to the field and put the other two in there, and then have the inside put Onana out at Z, run the inside guy on a quick in, and have Onana work the one-on-one.
Who cares? I make it.
It's not big up. Just flop the formation. Onana goes at Z, 84 goes at slot. You tell there, you go at slot, run the in, and you got the one-on-one option right there. You get what I'm saying? You're to the field. You're to the Z. Two receivers to the field, right? You know the formation.
Yeah.
You run the inside. You get a tight split. Run the inside route. You're one-on-one. You're one-on-one slant with him on the Z. Yes.
Okay, we got spring.
Yes. You're running inside route. Two to the field. No. Onana, you're outside. You're a slot. You run the inside, but then you run the slant. Clear it out, 84.
We got a new job. The OC. In coaching school, they generally tell you not to make things up in the huddle on the field. 3rd and 2. Jacob Muller moving Onana inside, who's obviously the target on this play. Muller just said, forget that. I am keeping the ball and getting the first down here. All of that stuff, Coach Sanchez, not happening.
He was open like a moment. You know what happened?
Yeah, it did look like there was an opportunity there, but Jacob Muller, I think recognizing the game situation, the field position himself, took the highest percentage opportunity to get the first down, which was for him to
pull it. Coach. That's why you get paid for it, I know.
We learned it.
Muller gets the first down out to his own 22-yard line. Still a long field to go. Muller again scrambling, sliding.
He's clean. That's late as hell.
Minute 23 to go here in the half as they try to get into scoring position and cut this lead here.
There you see Jacob Muller doing a good job.
Ooh.
Mostly protecting himself on the run.
Took a little bit of an accidental knee to the head.
Logan Woolsey, also Clarkson Football North. Middle linebacker in on the play there.
Muller back to pass. Looks to the left, can't find anybody. Penalty flag on the play as he scrambles. Throws it deep. That falls incomplete. Penalty flag would have brought it back anyway, as you'd think that that's going to be holding.
Holding on the offense, Team Sanchez, number 55. That penalty is declined. We have 3rd down.
Yeah, sometimes tough for the offensive lineman when the quarterback goes off script.
That's why I told him on that
Gets
drive.
on the move.
Just drop back and then make a play with your legs if you don't see nothing, because he's that.
And he can throw.
He's that good. Yes. But we got to get Onana to the field where he can
So you know the game plan for the second half. Jason, Dorrell, Onana get to the field. Already had 1 touchdown in this game. High kick, almost blocked. Svetkovic lets that bounce, goes out of bounds, close to midfield. 43 seconds left to go here. So enough time for Team Steagall to add to their lead before halftime.
No doubt Team Steagall would like to do that. Milt.
Way to go. Way to play, guys. Way to play, baby. Way to play. Way to play.
Milt dying for an opportunity to get in on another celebration with his young guys. You know, and I know he likes going after Davis, whom he refers to as the little brother he never wanted.
Davis fits the role well, no doubt. Quick fake by Bailey. Bailey looks to scramble himself. He is brought down. That is Ryan North from Dakota High School in Manitoba with the tackle to just hold that to a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, nice play there by Ryan North, tracking that one down from the backside. There you'll see North at defensive end. Play goes away from him. He just stays alive to run down the quarterback.
Bailey on 2nd and 9 drops back to pass, looks to the left, has a receiver. Jake Archambault with the reception, takes it down to the 25. Great throw by Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey stands in, delivers a strike here. Archambault.
Timeout. Team Steagall. They're last and final for the half.
Right on the money there. Well-balanced receiving core. All having a good day here.
This is going to be an interesting quarterback competition at Football North. Now, if you were Jacob Muller a year ago, you were the number 2, but he did get to play a lot. And then right before the final game of the year, he got to start and then got dinged up. And now Brandon Bailey finds himself in a similar situation. He's going to be that next guy. Muller's the incumbent, but Bailey's going to get a chance to push for playing time, and he's making an impression here.
Well, he certainly is. Obviously, the more experience you have at quarterback, the more depth. We call those good problems.
Absolutely. Very good quarterback room at Football North, no doubt.
We may not even want to try a field goal.
All of those guys are going to get a chance to go to some NCAA camps this summer and see if they can increase their exposure. Bailey's going to have this game on his highlight reel with a couple of nice runs and some big-time throws as well. The rollout earlier for the touchdown, and then that pass over the middle. Already in field goal range. Let's see how aggressive they get here. Play fake here. Bailey drops back to pass. Has some pressure. Manages to flip it out. And that's Ryan Dare. Gets about 8 yards to about the 17-yard line. 4 seconds left to go. And it looks like Team Steagall is going to try to kick a field goal here.
Yeah, I love the ad-lib here from Brandon Bailey. Under pressure, it's almost wrapped up there. Jake Stadler had a piece of him. Manages to escape just enough, has the presence of mind to know where his running back is. Puts the ball in the hands of Dare for a nice pickup, make that kick a little bit easier.
Sam Preston from Salisbury on to attempt the field goal.
I think Preston's going to hold this
Preston
time.
is holding. This is Thatcher Manuel.
Green, zip.
Kick is up and good. Team Steagall adds to their lead before halftime. 22-6 the score. They're up 3 scores. Team Sanchez has some work to do to avoid a second straight blowout here.
I know you guys want to start itching down this way second half.
Well, Team Sanchez showing some signs offensively. As that second quarter went on, they'll look to try and build on that in the third quarter and get themselves back in this ball game.
All right, let's head down to the field. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Some incredible grabs. Jason Durrell-Ornana with an incredible touchdown, but Ben McCauley has 2 grabs. Steagall up 22-6 on Team Sanchez. More coming at halftime.
Get ready for the NBA Conference Finals. Action with Game 4 of the East Finals as the Knicks go against the Pacers. Tune in tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN.
Who are you cheering for?
The Pacers. I love the little ode to Reggie Miller from the other game.
Yes.
The big choke. That was an unbelievable finish to that game.
Yeah, terrific year in the NBA playoffs, no doubt.
Yeah, Therese Halliburton and Reggie Miller having a little bit of a love-in during that series. Low snap, picked up and intercepted. That is Christian Zapavinga from St. Joseph's, taking that all the way back for the touchdown.
Jake Mitchell. Actually 34 rather than 24. Scott Mitchell and Simone Lawrence having a good time with that one. You see Mitchell, number 34, playing up in the box. We've seen him at linebacker. We've seen him at defensive back. Big play here, drop into his zone, just steps in underneath the intended receiver. McCauley says he's seen McCauley do enough damage in this ball game.
Stop playing with me, boy.
Jake Mitchell took it to the end zone, but stepped out of bounds on the way there, as you'll see.
Out of bounds at the 20-yard line, but Team Sanchez needed that in a big way. Down 19 points, Jake Mitchell gets his team in the game.
Yeah, they've been fighting an uphill battle in terms of field position, starting field position offensively all game. It's a big help.
Jacob Cusker with the play fake, can't find his receiver. Incomplete at the 20, that brings up 2nd and 10. They need this drive. You've got to believe that even if they don't get the first down here, they're going to go for it on 3rd.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, even towards the end of the first half, Team Sanchez became a little bit more aggressive in their approach.
I'm trying to stay in my lane here. Trying to stay in my lane. I'm a defensive guy. I don't know nothing about this, but we need to score 7. I know that.
He programmed the interception, though. He can take
He's a defensive guy, but he can count.
Low throw by Jacob Cusker. Had a receiver in the left flat. Keaton Belcher open. And at 3rd and 10, they're looking to kick the field goal here.
Yeah, want to make sure they come out of this with points. Cut that margin a little bit.
All right, here we go. All right.
So again, we have 3 kickers sharing duties in this ball game. Matias Pisa.
Pisa also starts at quarterback for his club team. Or for his school team at Georgia McDougall in Alberta. That kick is up and it's good. And Team Sanchez inches closer off the turnover, which sets them up in great field position. They cut the lead to 16. The CHL Memorial Cup round robin continues tomorrow as the London Knights go up against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Coverage gets underway at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on TSN. After that field goal, Team Steagall will start at their own 35-yard line. Might be the worst field position they've had all day. They've had it pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a little bit of a shift in things for Team Sanchez.
Brandon Bailey into the game at quarterback. Hands off to Jacob Whitlock, I believe.
Jake Mitchell here in the second half, channeling his inner Simone Lawrence.
Yeah, we've been talking about MVP candidates from Sanchez, and he may have elevated into the Onana discussion for that spot.
Yeah, you'll see him step up here. Again, playing Simone's spot as that weak side linebacker steps up into the hole. Need the running back in the gap. Good job by that defensive line, keeping the linebackers clean to make plays.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. Bailey drops back to pass, sets up the screen to Jasper Barron. He makes some moves, sets up some blocks, he's going. Penalty flag on the play as Barron gets the ball across midfield. Possibly a receiver holding downfield. That may come back.
Nice initial execution. There at the line of scrimmage to free up the running back. Get him past the first level.
Holding, 85 Team Steagall. Foul happened after the first down.
Come on.
First down.
So still picking up a first down on the play. Never going to get mad at receivers for blocking. Milt. You see on the right side of the screen, Jasper Barron finds a little gap, couple nice blocks there.
Bailey hands off to Barron. He is brought down pretty quick here. Mateo McDonnell from New Westminster with the tackle on the play.
Another young man you know pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've coached Mateo since he was about 5 years old, 6 years old in flag football.
And he overcame that to get here to the Prospects game.
Absolutely. And if you met his father, you know he's overcome a lot. His dad might have the best hair of anybody in their 50s I've ever come across. Mateo's is a mess, by the way.
I have no comment.
You have, exactly. 2nd and 7 for Team Sanchez as Bailey rolls up, throws it back to Barron. Well-designed play. He picks up some space, breaks one tackle, does have the first down, being brought down right at midfield.
Yeah, again, love the play design, love the execution here. A little half roll to the right by Brandon Bailey, this time throwing the screen back to his left.
Bailey has managed to execute a lot of different looks in this game. Speaks a lot for the young man who's only had 2 days to practice.
Well, and you have to give a lot of credit to the coaches too in terms of understanding the skill sets of their players. And you're here again, giving Jansen Shrub a little bit of love as he's designing plays that take advantage of what Bailey has done with his legs.
Quick pass in the flat to Barron. Barron had a big first half running the football. Let's take a look at some of those plays.
Yeah, Jasper Barron got it going right from the drop in this ball game. First play of the game. A couple of nice blocks from the big fellas up front, and Barron hits it running. He had a couple of terrific cutbacks right there, breaking some ankles. Earned some tough yards up the middle as well.
Bailey under center again. That was a short gain, so 2nd and 9. Bailey scrambling to his left. Puts the ball up to a receiver, gives his man a chance, and draws a pass interference penalty. Again, great poise by the young quarterback to put it in a spot where his receiver could make a play, and it leads to a penalty.
Yeah, looking for Hudson Svetkovich down there, fighting his way back to the football to draw the flag.
Pass interference, number 4, Team Sanchez. First down.
Here you'll see again, pretty good spot. Looked like the wind caught that one a little bit, held the ball inside, but as Svetkovich tries to adjust back inside. There you saw James Cardos with a little contact from behind.
Cardos's dad, Sandor, was a member of the '97 Vanier Cup champions at UBC, also played at St. Mary's and helps coach the provincial team program in British Columbia, along with the Langley High program where Sandor plays, where James plays, I should say. Bailey back to pass after the first down. Good ball, goes right through the hands of Ben McCauley and almost turns into an interception.
Yeah, Tristan Buckner, the DB, in on that play. McCauley, the inside receiver here to the far right of your screen. Watch the corner coming in from the outside, making a break on that one. It looked like he was coming in thinking he was going to get a hit and got surprised when the ball actually got through the hands of Mr. Touchdown, Ben McCauley.
2nd and 10 coming up. They converted the last 2nd and long with the pass interference. Let's see what they come up with here. Jacob Whitlock in the backfield. McCauley. Sorry, Bailey making sure that his receivers know exactly where to be here. Empties out the backfield. And then makes one man miss. Nice move by Bailey. He's still got it. He's going to get the first down with his legs right here before being run out of bounds by Mitchell.
Yeah, a little backfield action here, trying to suck in the defense. They have the running back coming across. Khalil Felix got caught not maintaining that outside in leverage, contained leverage as he comes off the edge.
The head fake on the teammate, they're going to be talking about that at Football North practices. Khalil Felix just got put on Brandon Bailey's highlight video. And I heard one of the players afterwards yelling, "Brandon, you got lucky." And I'm sure it was one of his teammates from Football North.
Yeah, no question. Kind of fun for a lot of these guys to have the opportunity in this ball game competing against their high school teammates.
1st and 10 from the 25. The second and long conversion they've had here. Nice run this time by Ryan Dare.
You got it on us? On us. Hold it. Hold it.
Big 2nd and 5 coming up here for Team Sanchez.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of big defensive plays from Team Sanchez. You see defensive coordinator Will Mulligan from McMaster University, where the teams practice during the week.
Offside. 85, Team Steagall. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Jake Archibald with the penalty there. That was a bit of a break here for Team Sanchez. That might push them out of field goal range, or out of easy field goal range.
Yeah, particularly with that wind. The defense has provided a spark here for Team Sanchez in the second half, third quarter of this football game.
You got to keep them away from.
See if they've got another trick up their sleeves.
This could be Jake Mitchell time if he gets underneath the pass. Bailey drops back to pass. Has a receiver at the 10-yard line. Nice catch there. Dexter Dunlop at the 9-yard line, and they convert again. Brandon Bailey having himself a heck of a game.
Really is. You know, the thing that stood out in talking to Brandon Bailey yesterday to me was just his demeanor, his poise, very low-key, confident without being brash in any way, shape, or form. Just demonstrated a poise that has translated to the field.
We talked about the impact of his offensive coordinator, Edgar Garcia, and he says, working with Edgar, he really understands defenses better than he ever has. And you can see in some of these looks that he's making decisions before the snap and throwing with confidence. 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line. The quick pitch to Ryan Dare. Nothing doing there. Oh, he breaks the first tackle, spins back inside.
Yeah, Dare did well to get anything on that play as the Sanchez defense was all over it. Flowing to the football, nice run support from the secondary.
It was McDonnell who turned the play back inside. 12th play of this drive coming up for Team Steagall. Up 16 points right now in the final minute of the third quarter.
Well, it's not Milt Steagall style offense with a 7+ minute drive here so far.
Bailey on the rollout. Beats one man to the edge, directing traffic, puts the ball up into the end zone, puts the ball there, but it's dropped at the goal line.
That's good, yeah, this kid's good.
An incomplete pass. That was Dexter Dunlop, who's also been busy on kick returns. Can't haul that in at the goal line. Good defensive play by Team Sanchez to break that up as well.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we'll get a look. Bailey getting on the move again. Breaks contain. Takes a hit just as he throws that, but nice defensive play there from James Cardos.
I don't think they're going to hear us from here, but yeah.
See, this is Team Steagall throwing Sanchez a bone.
Contain!
Because if you don't get it, it's still a 2-score game.
Yes, 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 contain!
I don't think Milt is ever looking to give Davis anything easily.
Jasper Barrett in the pistol in behind Brandon Bailey on 3rd and goal from the 7. Could be procedure there.
You know, truth be told, I mentioned I was talking to Milt's former teammate Chris Svetkovich during practices this week. Chris said he learned a lot from Milt about how to save your money. He says Milt always said deep pockets, short arms.
Good advice from the GOAT.
Procedure, number 25, Team Steagall. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
A 7-minute and 50-second drive right now with the final play of the 3rd quarter coming up. I thought they might go for a field goal once they got pushed outside the 10-yard line, but nope, they're going for it.
Well, one of the things we talk about all the time in CFL games, in wind conditions like this, when you're working against the wind,
here we go.
Ball control. Limit the other team's opportunities with the football. Team Steagall has done an outstanding job of it here in this all-star game situation.
Bailey drops back to pass. Looking inside, he's intercepted. I gave Christian Zapavinga the credit earlier. That's how you got it.
You're just being prophetic.
Absolutely. Team Sanchez dodges a bullet. They enter the 4th quarter down 2 scores thanks to this interception. We'll see if they can take advantage when we come back. All right, let's take a look. Over 340 yards for Team Steagall, but still only a 2-touchdown lead. I maintain he gave his little brother a bit of a chance here.
Well, I'll tell you, the give is the key. The turnover number is the one that stands out right now. Team Steagall up on the scoreboard despite losing the turnover battle right now, 4-1.
Yeah, and a 12-minute edge in time of possession. This long drive that just ended close to 8 minutes. We haven't seen that in this game before, so you know, we're going to have to see Team Sanchez open it up here in the 4th quarter. This could be fun.
Yeah, again, could be challenging in dealing with that win, but they did manage to throw the ball pretty effectively in the 2nd quarter. Hopefully they can come up with a couple of big plays, as they're going to need to get those points on the board in a hurry.
All right, let's see what the final quarter brings for us here. Jacob Muller back into the game at quarterback. Finds a receiver on the right side. That is Keaton Belcher with the catch. Good for 8 yards on 1st down.
Team Sanchez leaning on that tandem. Keaton Belcher, Jason Onana into the boundary primarily in this ball game.
It would have been better served to have just stayed in the end zone after that interception. For field position.
Take the field position, yeah.
Can't tell that to a high school kid, though.
No.
On TSN for the first time.
Everything's a shot at a pick 6.
Yo! Wide Olivia! Wide Olivia! Yo!
2nd and 2. Muller with a good throw, but his receiver can't bring it in. And that is Onana, who's had a big first half, but can't make that critical play here.
Yeah, a little bobble there. Pretty tight coverage on the play from Dax Gibney out of AE Peacock High School in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
3rd and 1 from deep in their own end, and Team Sanchez going for it here. Last couple of times they've done this, Muller's kept the ball himself, now sneaks under center. Driving for the 1st down. Looks like he's got a favorable spot and should get it here. They've given it to him. 1st down, Team Sanchez, as they look to execute a long drive of their own.
See the offensive line go to work here. Pretty good movement on the play. Notice
Joseph Pimentel on the inside making a very good block there over Pascal Robichaud. 1st and 10. Muller back to pass. Doesn't find what he likes. Takes off with it. Has some room as he breaks free. Runs into his own man at the 25-yard line. Should have the 1st down before being taken out of bounds.
Dar, how far can he tackle put my guy out of bounds here, dog.
It's out of bounds right
Coach Sanchez lobbying down there. Nice effort from Jacob Muller. As you mentioned earlier, worked hard in the weight room to put on about 25 pounds. Says he not only feels stronger, but also faster. Looking to put himself in a better position to make some plays with his legs.
Great look on that last run with the head coach of the team in black complaining. Another first down at the 30-yard line for Jacob Muller and Team Sanchez here.
Ready, go! Wide Olivia! Wide Olivia, go!
Quick pass to the inside. He's got a receiver and a first down. That time it's William Gill.
Move quick, move a little quicker.
Played just 2 years of football, ran a 4.53 laser timed 40 earlier this year. Caught over 1,000 yards in passes on 44 receptions for his team in Quebec.
Yeah, quick hitter. You'll see the 3 receivers out to the field. Biggest cushion over the man in the middle. Nice read from the quarterback Muller to find William Gill.
Slow but steady on this drive.
Speed.
Muller again looking to pass. Blitz coming. Muller pulls it down. He's directing traffic. Can't find a receiver. And he fumbles the ball right here. And it is recovered by Team Steagall.
A great play there by the middle linebacker, Logan Woolsey.
Rennie Jackson with the reception. Not what Team Sanchez needed right here, the fumble. And Team Steagall's going to be in business when we come back. Jacob Muller has done some damage with his legs in this game, but not here. Logan Woolsey with the strip. Rennie Jackson with the recovery. And Team Steagall takes it over. Now let's head down to the field where Matthew has some special guests.
Absolutely, Farhan. I'm so pleased to be joined by the Niagara Youth Football Nitros. I've got Shiloh, I've got Amy, and I've got Tegan with me. And they were all just competing at halftime, showing off their skills. And Shiloh, I'll start with you. What do you love about flag football?
I love being able to be with family and play with Niagara Youth Nitros.
Now, who has the best hands? Amy, can you definitively, among the 3 of you, who has the best hands?
Probably Tegan.
How are yours?
They're good.
How have you enjoyed playing? How much do you enjoy playing flag football?
It's like my whole life at this point. Like, we're always practicing, always tournaments, but I love it so much.
And Tegan, what kind of community, what kind of friends do you build through flag football?
Well, we really have a family at Niagara Nitro, and we always are together. Some of my best friends are with Niagara Nitro, and I'm so glad to have them all.
And what does it mean? How excited are all of you knowing that this is now an Olympic sport? Amy?
So excited. Can't wait till 2028. Great opportunities for girls and women now to be able to play flag football professionally.
And Shiloh, do you look forward to, does that become a dream now, knowing that there is a pathway potentially to get into the Olympics?
Yeah, because I love playing flag football since I was younger, and I always want to do it when I get older.
Tegan, how excited does it make you when you get on the field knowing that you have your friends and your community around you?
It makes me feel awesome. The teamwork and the family there, they always have my back, and it's good to know that I have a team and a family.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you.
Those girls had a lot of fun at halftime. We've done this with tackle football before with the girls game a year ago, but you see what's happening with flag. You see that it's going into the Olympics. Everybody's making it a varsity sport, and what a great opportunity for these young ladies.
And if you noticed one of the girls down there, Shiloh Ivory, you may remember her dad, Cliff Ivory, former defensive back. Here with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, also with the Toronto Argonauts. So Cliff doing a little bit of coaching with the young ladies.
Punt goes off the side of his foot. Not much there. Mateus Pizza would love to have that back. And Team Sanchez will take it in very good field position. Here's a look at the future of flag football in Canada. These girls had a blast at halftime. More when we come back.
The fourth quarter of the CFC Prospects Game is brought to you by Gridiron Nation, Canada's top source for college football news this fall on TSN.
Just over 10 minutes to go in this game, and we still find ourselves with a 2-score game. There's been some moments where it looked like it going the other direction, but Team Sanchez still hanging around.
Yeah, taking advantage of some big defensive plays. Team Steagall slowing down a little bit.
Jacob Mueller escaping some traffic again. Has a receiver, has a completion. That is Josiah Thompson. Takes it across midfield.
Well, Josiah Thompson, not a hard target to find. Biggest receiver in this ball game at 6'6". But outstanding effort by Jacob Mueller just to stay alive. Keep this one going in the pocket, gets his eyes downfield as he's on the move. Thompson following his scramble rules. Get open for his quarterback, young man from a military family, currently living in Quebec, playing for the Gatineau Vikings, but born in British Columbia. He's lived all over the country, stint in Europe as well.
This time, Mueller escapes again, still looking to throw, beats one man, gets close to first down yardage. Love how he keeps his eyes downfield. Both of these Football North quarterbacks seem to be able to do that well.
Yeah, always looking to make a play downfield regardless of the state of the pocket. And does a nice job protecting that football. Anytime he's on the move, you sort of see him get it tucked in, crook of the elbow and against the body.
Especially after the fumble on the last drive.
Yes. Very aware.
That'll teach you in a hurry. Mueller on 2nd and 2. This time the handoff. Sereni Brown, the ball carrier, gets the first down. Down to the 34-yard line.
Moving the sticks, nice efficient drive here for Team Sanchez as they look to close the gap in this ball game.
Clock ticking down, 8:42, still plenty of time to get 2 scores here. Mueller drops back to pass, looks over the middle, looking for William Gill, but incomplete there.
As well as seeing some new faces in terms of players taking part in this ball game. You're seeing some officials on their way up, helping out, getting a chance to be evaluated and get some feedback here from veteran officials. You see them listed on the left side of your screen. Know a number of veteran officials, Murray Drinkwalter, Jake Ireland here, Dave Foxcroft as well, helping with the evaluation and coaching process.
Mueller scrambles to his left again. He's going to get out of bounds, but not before he gets another first down and inside the 20-yard line.
Well, one of the things that Jacob Mueller talked to us about prior to this game was sort of the things he's learned, the things he's developed since participating in last year's CFC Prospect Game. And, you know, a lot of it had to do with decision making and understanding how to keep the sticks moving and not necessarily looking for a touchdown on every play, big play on every play, but just move the sticks as efficiently as possible, and he's certainly done that on this possession.
8 carries for 55 yards so far for the quarterback. This time he drops back to pass again, takes off and runs. He's now inside the 10, another first down. Team Sanchez knocking on the door on the legs of their quarterback.
That was much better. Watch one now.
If you're coaching D-line, you got to be pulling your hair out.
Yeah, maybe the defense looking to make some adjustments as Mueller starts hurting Team Steagall with his legs. Did a great job with throwing the football, different plans of attack. Nice adjustments here for Chris Colson, Davis Sanchez, and Team Chez in the second half.
First and goal from the 6-yard line. This time the fake, looking outside. Can't find anybody there, so he keeps it again. Takes a big hit, lost his helmet. Looked like the football came out for a second. That was his helmet, and it's a touchdown. Jacob Muller finishes the drive with a touchdown and no helmet.
Well, fortunately, not injured on the play as he loses his lid. It just looks good for the cameras after the touchdown run.
Yeah, the hit from the back from Shaw is what knocked the helmet off. Now they're taking Cusker out of their, Jacob Cusker's going into the game because Jacob Muller is coming out after his helmet got knocked off.
Oh, player safety, of course, the most important thing. Jacob looks like he's doing okay over there.
I think we need him in there. He's good. Call it. We don't get this one anyway. Let's get it. Jacob, you're going in. 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 Yeah. Time out. Yeah. They said his helmet. Why his helmet came off? They said I thought it plays had to be out.
No. Timeout.
No.
Yeah. Team Sanchez.
Trying to determine whether they can put him back in the game.
Yeah, looking for some clarification on the sideline.
Hey, something on getting something on the move to the field. On the move to the field. Yeah. Run pass option.
Now it certainly looked like
he wasn't hurt. He's not hurt.
But there's no replay.
Oh, if they're going to take a timeout.
They took a timeout? They're wrong. Hey, these guys know that. Can we overrule that?
Hey, Steagall, worry about your celebrations. That's your deal.
You worry about not calling plays.
It's got you there, Ches.
Touche.
Muller comes back into the game after the timeout. Fakes, boots to his left, looks like he's going to keep it again, and he scores again. Jacob Muller pulls Team Sanchez to within one touchdown after the two-point conversion. Jacob Muller over 70 yards rushing so far in this game, doing it with his legs, keeping his team in it. Jacob Muller with 222 yards of offense in this game. Plenty of reasons to celebrate. Now let's send it down to the field. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Once again, I'm joined on the sidelines with another guest, Farhan. This is Carlo Onorati with Area 51, one of the major apparel outfitters of today's game, but also the founder of FootballDepot.ca. I want to pay particular attention to FootballDepot.ca. What inspired you to kind of build that marketplace?
My partners and I, we noticed there was a big gap in the Canadian market for football players, parents, and coaches to find a one-stop shop that really serviced their need. We're football people, we're proudly Canadian, and we're providing a spot for players across the nation to get what they need to get on the field.
And with the trends that are happening in this game, how do you kind of support players, coaches, and parents as those trends kind of play themselves out?
So we offer a wide variety of product, a lot of custom solutions for teams. With the growth of the game, youth participation is up, things like flag being in the Olympics. Football's in a really good position in this country, and we're just here to support and fuel that growth.
And to that point, as it grows, parents, coaches, and players are going to want to get more involved in the game. So how does FootballDepot.ca help them with that?
Well, we just have a lot of expertise, having been coaches, players, athletes, being involved in the game, things like this. We provide an easy online ordering system. We're easily accessible by phone or email, and we just love and care about the growth of the game in this country, and we're just here to support that.
Awesome. Thanks for this.
Thank you, Matt.
Got to know Carlo a bit over the years with this game, and certainly does a fantastic job. They're fully committed to grassroots sports, grassroots football, especially here in Canada.
Ready, go.
And now we've got Caden Barnstable back in the game for Team Steagall. As they've split time, the quarterbacks have split time in each of the last two quarters instead of going quarter by quarter.
5.
Trying there to get the run game going a little bit. It's been a great source of momentum for Team Steagall in this ball game, but that time stopped for a loss, creating this second and long situation for Caden Barnstable.
2nd and 14 here. If Team Sanchez can get the ball back, they're going to be in business. The way the wind has impacted the punt game, they'll get the ball at midfield. Barnstable with the low snap. Team Sanchez about to recover. No, the quarterback gets back on it. That could have been disastrous for Team Steagall.
Yeah, huge play by Caden Barnstable there.
Take a safety.
They're going to punt the ball, or are they going to take a safety, as you heard?
Yeah, Milt sounds like he's all about the field position.
Probably a little too far out for that. With the wind, maybe. If you're taking a safety, you're kicking from the 20.
Yeah, very true.
He's going to move it up to about the 25.
But a touchdown and they win.
Yeah,
they're up.
That's the problem. They score.
They take the safety.
Oh, bit of a gamble in its own right for Team Steagall here.
Well, what did Milt say to Steagall? Oh, let's hear it.
So no option. It's going to be first down. Which hash mark would you like?
Which hash you want, Coach? What hash you want, Coach? Left hash. Same, Jake. Same thing, baby.
Well, given they don't have to kick off from the 20, this actually may turn out well for them to have to take it all the way back to the 35.
Hash, left hash.
The CFL, you'd have to kick it, would you not?
Yes.
Take the safety in that situation.
Yeah,
so.
Can we talk about Milt's decision there, guys?
Well, we didn't like the decision until they put the ball at the 35. Now it's not a bad decision.
Oh, wow.
That lets you know what Davis knows about football.
Let you know Milt wasn't a math major at the University of Miami, Ohio.
So
Muller this time cannot get away. He is brought down.
Yo! What?
Aiden Smallwood with the sack. You got the sense both sides were expecting that. Quarterback wanted to run, and the D-line was ready this time.
yeah, and we talked a little bit earlier in this ball game about Darren Armstrong, defensive tackle from Westdale. This is the other defensive tackle from Westdale. I joke with these guys, I don't think anybody's running the ball inside against that team.
No,
terrific tandem.
This time he's got to hang back and throw. Muller does. Has a receiver on the left side. That's Keaton Belcher, who fights his way to a first down.
Hey, I see you, 84. I see you.
Their clutch throw and catch there. Jacob Muller and Keaton Belcher along the sidelines to find their way out of that 2nd and long situation.
Yeah, fought his way to get the first down there out to the 50-yard line. 3:50 to go in this game. You'd have to think this is the drive that's going to determine things here. This time Muller drops back to pass, escapes again, has some room on the right side, puts it deep, has a receiver, but it falls incomplete. A little bit of contact there, but I think the refs were wise to keep the flags in their pockets.
Yeah, I think we got a good call, maybe a little bit of incidental contact, but again, I like the play here from Jacob Muller, just the presence of mind as we see the tail end of this.
Was there enough there?
Yeah, I'm not sure enough to have really impeded the receiver from the distance he had to go.
I thought you played offense.
To get that football. Yeah, it's always PI.
You're not Glenn Suter.
Listen, I was a blocker. In my world, all I know is it's never holding.
2nd and 10. Muller back to pass. The quick bubble to the right side. Has a receiver. Does not have the first down, but getting closer. That's Marvin Asamudu with his first catch of the game. As we get close to the 3-minute warning here.
That's a terrible spot. That's a terrible spot.
Team Sanchez going for it on
That's
3rd
a terrible
down.
spot.
So we have seen Davis Sanchez obviously coaching up his DBs. We've seen him calling plays on offense. He's now officiating the game.
Very versatile young man, that Davis.
Ready to go.
Will Muller throw it here? Will he keep it? This time he throws it to Gill. He got a completion for a first down. As we hit the 3-minute warning, Team Sanchez in business here. Team Sanchez driving a clutch first down right here to keep things going.
Who's going to make a play on D?
We expected Milt's team to run away with this game at one point. Davis's team is hanging around, guys. 2.5 minutes left. Is a coaching decision going to decide this?
The fact that we took the fact that Coach Steagall up 8 gave us 2 points is questionable. We're not worried about that.
That lets you know what Davis knows about wind and all that stuff.
Wind.
He has no clue. But watch this turnover right now.
Ready to go.
Muller drops back the pass on 1st and 10. Looking over the middle, has a receiver, and that is Belcher again. Great throw and catch by both of those young men.
Working that boundary, Coach.
We've definitely found some chemistry. There, Jacob Muller, Keaton Belcher. You know, Keaton has talked about potentially the opportunity to play with his brother this fall.
His dad Colin is a former Saskatoon Hilltops quarterback, coached at various points.
Ready to go.
Kid's been playing since he was 4 years old. Over the middle to Onana, just off the fingertips of the outstretched receiver.
Yes. Small receiver, Jason Onana. We're a couple inches taller. We'd be looking at a 1st and goal here.
Fitted in perfectly between the two defenders.
Yeah, nice read, nice throw.
Would have left too much time on the clock.
That's right.
Muller wants to run the ball anyway. Let's see what they've got dialed up here. We didn't see Davis talking to Muller right when he came to the sideline, so that's positive.
Hey, skirt. Skirt. Ready to go.
Muller dropping back the pass again, looks over the middle, has Onana, who's got a catch down at the 5-yard line. What a throw. Nice catch by the young man. Still in the 9th grade.
Let it run. Clock.
Okay, we're going to
let the clock.
You'll see Onana working from the slot here. Far right of your screen. Working right into the teeth of this Team Steagall secondary. Just as he gets from second level in front of the safety, Muller delivers.
Thought he was going to walk into the end zone, but couldn't maintain his feet there. Nonetheless, it might work out better if they can kill some clock time here. Muller using as much time as he can here from the 5-yard line.
Ready to go.
Quick pass, he keeps. Takes off on the right side. Will he score? Jacob Muller into the end zone. Touchdown to tie this game.
The converts never a gimme. Davis Sanchez out in the middle of the field, staring down the opposing bench right now.
Now they've had some challenges with these longer PATs.
Yeah, it's definitely not a gimme.
Shit. Here we go, guys. Belcher. Good shit, boy. There you go, baby. Hell yeah.
Jacob Muller doing it with his arm, doing it with his legs, having a signature 4th quarter. This team was down 19 points.
That has been the Jacob Muller show here in quarter 4.
There we go, Thatcher Manuel down the middle. And with that, Team Sanchez has a 1-point lead with 1:21 to go in this game.
Wins in their face.
Outstanding comeback.
What covers do we want to? What covers do we want to? What I was saying was, we want to play.
Dave is saying the wind's in his face. I think the wind is at Team Steagall's back, is it not? If you look at the flags.
It appears to be right now. Again, always changing in this this stadium. Here you'll see the touchdown run from Jacob Muller. He's going to step up first and then bounce it. You see when he steps up, a couple of the defenders get caught. Like they were lured into a trap. It opens up the perimeter.
He must love this field because when you're playing at Football North, it's an entire American schedule.
Yes.
You got this extra field to the sidelines, this extra room. A guy like that can certainly take advantage of it.
Yeah, using all of it today.
Jacob Muller with 303 yards of total offense, 220 through the air, 83 along the ground, a couple of rushing touchdowns, and he's got his team ahead by 1.
The Team Steagall with time on the clock.
Short kickoff there. Not sure how they're going to rule that. We didn't expect that one.
We don't have any option.
It has to get past.
Yeah, we don't have any option though.
Oh, defense.
Here we go, D. Hey! He's 15 now. Hey, come here. Don't take the aggression of what you do. You can get to the quarterback. Get there on the upfield shoulder. Go get him. Hey, 6. You play left dash.
No, pretty good field position for Team Steagall as a result of that kick against the wind.
And Brandon Bailey back into the game at quarterback, so we'll see if he can one-up his teammate.
Yes. Love the friendly competition here.
Set, ready, go! Bailey dropping back to pass, sets up the screen to Jasper Barron. He makes one man miss, makes another man miss, taken out of bounds after a gain of 9, close to the first down. That'll bring up 2nd and 1 and stops the clock when he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and like the play call here, you know that the Team Sanchez D is going to have their ears pinned back, trying to get to the quarterback. They suck in that pressure. They've had some success with the screen game.
Getting the ball to Jasper Barron's never a bad idea either.
Oh, he's had a big day.
2 BC boys in the backfield with Barron and Bailey.
360 shake. Set, ready, go!
Bailey drops back, doesn't like what he sees, wants to scramble. Close to the first down, yes, he gets it. He'll feel that one, but he'll be happy he was able to move the sticks.
Yeah, again, credit the young quarterback for just the awareness of the situation. As you saw how quickly he came off the throw there and decided to run because he knew how little he needed. Didn't want to take time. Just wanted to pick up that first down.
Got to play in a hurry here. Bailey dropping back, stepping up into the pocket, has a receiver. He's got it.
Hey! 92.
The clutch play here.
Hey, 29! Hey, 29!
Very good throw by Bailey to hit Schaefer in stride.
Yeah, we're talking about a bunch of 16, 17-year-old football players here.
This time the quick screen to Jake Archambault. That looked like to be a late and they called it.
Okay, rebound, focus, we need composure. Jay, eyes here, man, eyes here.
We'll wait for the call, but it looks like a late hit, which will get them well inside field goal range, especially with the wind at their back.
Yeah, there you see the receiver already out of bounds.
Unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds. Number 25, Team Steagall. First down.
Jake Mitchell with the play out of bounds. He had the nice interception earlier. I wonder how Simone Lawrence feels about that.
Well, they're wearing the opposite colors. You hit them, I think is what Simone might say.
38 seconds to go. This time, the fake to Barron. Nobody open, so Bailey just throws it away wisely. I thought they might just run the ball 3 times there.
That's what I suspected as well, given they've had some success in that vein.
Take the time off the clock.
Are you guys just the wind is in your face?
Are unpredictable, though.
Likely it doesn't. They're not getting 3. Got to get it out, right? Yeah. But straight vertical. Get and catch the ball in the mother air. And don't be shy. Don't let it bounce. Get it and go. And how about the return game? Everyone know who to block. You want to swap out and get the return team in, or just leave those guys to hold up.
We're just telling them to hold up right now.
Timeout here for Team Steagall.
Team Steagall.
Davis thinking ahead here.
But not yet.
Yes.
Let's go try to score. I don't leave it up to kickers.
Love the drama.
We're on the 10.
Yeah, like.
We got an injured player on the field as well for Team Sanchez.
We're on the 20-yard line right now. We're on the 20?
No.
They're on the 9, which means it's a 16-yard field goal.
9-yard line. Yep, 9-yard line.
First and goal.
What about we can go wide delay?
What do they do here, Dwayne?
We have not been able.
Well, I'm listening to hear what they're discussing.
Our best thing has always been the 78. Can we run 78 into the boundary?
Because we don't have anything installed with Charlie to do a tackle. So
okay. And in the middle.
Tight though. Okay. I can't blend because
right, Charlie? At this range, we kind of need in the middle.
Is Milt Steagall sweating?
Need it in the middle.
We're not really jumping down on that.
I like Patty Cutter. Let's go. Like tax. Okay, but if not, we got to get in the middle.
I think both these quarterbacks could be dueling for the MVP. Although Jasper Barron's had a very good game as well. Which way would you go?
Well,
fuck the tailback.
You know, I just want to say big picture.
Hey, you free to the ball. You're free to the ball.
You know, we always talk about like defense being able to pick things up more quickly than offense in a training camp type situation. And I just think it's been so impressive, the level of offense that we have seen from both of these teams with just a handful of practices to get ready.
Brandon Bailey leading this final drive. Jasper Barron right next to him. Bailey swings it up to Barron. He makes one man miss. Can he make a second? No. Down to the 5-yard line, and this game's going to come down to a field goal.
Who's in? We have none. We have none. We have one? We have one?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, the key thing is
we have one
as well, just in terms of managing the clock.
Take it if they blow it. We'll take it right away.
If they rule them down inbounds.
Don't take it. Don't take shit until it starts. Clock goal.
Field goal win it, then it'll go through.
It is 3rd down from the 5-yard line. Now this decision I'm not sure about. I'm not sure why you wouldn't kick a field goal here.
Said inbounds. Timeout. Team Sanchez.
Yeah, I mean, again, the ruling along the sidelines, whether in or out of bounds, key in terms of the
I was watching. It was 23.
The clock.
The specialists are all getting ready. Are they going to kick a field goal here?
Tackle over and we can make the kick.
Yeah, can we bring them over?
Hey, come on, let's go.
Come over, guys. Come over.
Now it makes sense.
Well, and as you heard Milt Steagall say from in close,
No line.
Let's take a look.
They should be able to get the single point. The player is down inbounds. The official, very decisive.
Hey, here's what's going to happen. Where's my offensive line? Where's my right guard? You're going to stay on the left.
The ball inbounds. You can hear on the sidelines, this was part of the debate in terms of trying a field goal, was they were saying during the week they didn't have time to install a tackle over field goal formation for when you're in this close, because of the angle you're kicking on. You want more protection towards the middle of the field.
Yes.
So you can kind of line up the kicking tee and the kicker more towards the middle of the field with the ball on the hash from in this close. So I think they're basically teaching them a tackle over formation on the sidelines right now.
Now in the first half, long snapper Reese Douglas, who's been snapping for both teams, did have a bit of a hip injury.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure whether or not he'd stay in the game. They were practicing some other players. He's had a couple of off snaps, which you can tell he's dealing with the injury. So let's keep an eye on the snap here.
Yeah, Reese is a guy who told us he loves the pressure.
Sam Preston kicked a game-winning chip shot field goal to get his team to the provincial championship in 2023. Let's see if he can do it here. Kick is up, and it is good. Sam Preston with the big kick from Team Steagall to give them a 2-point lead with 21 seconds remaining.
Well, and now the funny thing is that the specialists are playing for both teams in this game. And we have a brawl between the coaches at midfield.
Yeah, baby.
Again, we saw clutch passes, clutch catches, now a clutch kick from Sam Preston. Such an impressive game for these young men. As for the old men,
They can take the ball.
Keep it up. Keep it up. I mean that.
Team Steagall on the verge of improving to 2-1, dropping Sanchez to 2-2 as a coach. But what looked like was going to be a pretty one-sided game has turned into a pretty entertaining one.
it sure has. Team Sanchez roaring back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this might be the most entertaining version of this game yet.
No question.
Hell of a battle.
Just keeps getting better.
Jacob Mueller with 21 seconds to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Not sure he wants to run for all of it here. Mueller keeps the play alive, throwing deep. Has Onana. Onana recovery. What a play by Clem to take away what could have been a touchdown.
Something quick.
Eric Clem from Charles P. Allen Secondary in Nova Scotia breaks that one up. Very good throw by Mueller after keeping the play alive.
And this ball hangs up in the wind a little bit. Eric Clem takes advantage. Recovery there, you see the length of the defender. To go up and bat that one down. Tremendous effort there from Eric Clem.
10 seconds remaining. Couple more plays here for Team Sanchez. Mueller drops back, escapes to the right, looking deep, trying to keep it alive, throws it, can't complete it.
We have 1 second on the clock, it appears.
Come back, coach. That's it. You're going to have to back up a little bit, coach, or still let him play it.
Team Sanchez, what do you got? What do you got? You got a bunch of laterals, Davis?
I got no answers, unfortunately. That was a heck of a football game, I'll say that.
Do we have a Steel City miracle?
Well, it could be. Team Steagall defensive coordinator Dino Jeremiah
telling everybody to get back. Milt Steagall scored in a situation like this in one game, I can recall.
In Edmonton.
Mueller escapes to the right, looking downfield, puts up a prayer.
There's going to be a penalty for roughing the passer.
And it's caught.
We have a roughing the passer penalty on this play.
So we're going to move the ball up to the 10-yard line. There'll be an extra play.
Add to the catch. Hey!
There's a headshot on the quarterback as he threw that football.
Who made the catch? That's Keaton Belcher. Keaton Belcher with the catch. He's had a magnificent game.
Unnecessary roughness. Roughing the passer. 15-yard penalty at the end. First down.
Yeah, field goal.
Yeah, you're going to see Jacob Mueller gets absolutely rocked. I think it was Zion Streeter who came in high on the quarterback.
What are we
And they're going to tack on the penalty yardage after the catch. This is going to be a chip shot field goal going the other way. Will it be a different kicker?
Guys, tight. Count them up.
Or is Sam Preston going to kick the winning kick twice in one game?
It sure looks
for both teams.
Hey, kicker!
You should know his name, Davis.
Holy shit.
So Pisa and Preston are out there. One will hold, one will kick.
Count him up. You got him, counter? Count him up. Come on.
Timeout! We got it.
They call timeout. Kick together.
Hey, bring it!
No!
What a finish.
Clarification on what? Clarification on what? Bring them together. Hey, special team call. Bring them up. Bring them up. Special team, count them up. Right here, count them up. Count them up, damn it.
Not so fast.
Might be the first CFC game where both coaches get the shower.
Yes.
Count them up. Shit.
Oh, Davis, don't ever change.
What's the clarification we're looking for?
Now, we've seen it before where in this situation, in this game, they haven't gone half the distance. They've taken the entire penalty yardage. So I'm curious to see where they're going to spot this ball right now. No time left in the clock in a two-point game. Davis's team about to attempt a field goal to win it just when we thought.
Win this. Get over here. Got it all blocked down. Tighten down. Nothing
So they're
inside.
going to hold. They're going to place the ball at the 9-yard line.
Hard inside, right? All the hard inside. Hey, we're going to get loud.
Jacob Mueller now with Jacob Muller now with 354 yards of offense. That long pass to Belcher gets him to 271 through the air.
Just a phenomenal performance.
Matias Pisa will attempt this field goal.
Yes. With Sam Preston holding.
The kick is up. Team Steagall holds on.
No good. No good. 1 point. No good.
You guys fucking drenched me. We lost. Oh my goodness. Who took the fuck?
I feel bad for the kicker, though, but he won it and lost it. Good job, baby. Good job, baby. Good job, baby. I never doubted.
Good
work. Hey, good job, baby. Good
What
job.
a phenomenal fourth quarter. Fantastic final minute. Team Steagall escapes with the victory here.
Amazing performance by both of these teams. Unfortunate moment for Matias Pisa, who can't connect on the chip shot field goal here. But tough angle as always from the wide hash marks here. Nonetheless, an incredibly entertaining game. Team Steagall wins at 28-27. And now with the MVP of today's game presented by NFL Canada, here's Matthew Shinetti.
I don't think it'll surprise anybody that Jacob Muller is the MVP today. Over 271 yards in the air and over 300 yards of combined offense. But put that aside for 1 second. How crazy was this game, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was ups and downs from the start. We started down, but we competed, and, you know, sometimes it doesn't go our way, the last second field goal, but, you know, I'm proud of everyone on our team for competing and not, you know, getting tied up in the moment and just keep being resilient. So, yeah, I wish it could have gone our way.
But this is the second time you played in this game. What does it say to you that it was this competitive this year, that guys were going back and forth at each other?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really cool experience seeing some of the best guys in Canada, and, you know, from last year it wasn't as close of a game, so I had a great time. I just, yeah, wish it could have ended off more of a fairy tale, but yeah.
What does this do for the elite players at the high school level in this country to come together and face each other on a stage like this?
I think it just shows a lot of guys, like, you know, the ceiling, or sky's the limit, sorry. Sky's the limit, and, you know, it's a great opportunity for everyone to get out, talk to Canadian coaches, and make a name for themselves.
Definitely, you made a name for yourself today, Jacob. Congratulations, man. Great game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Congrats to Jacob. Congrats to all of these players. They put on an absolute show here in Hamilton. It was the 5th edition of the CFC Prospects game. They went back and forth. It went down to the final play, and we had extra plays. Looking forward to bringing this game to you again next year. In the meantime, the CFL season is just around the corner. Keep it locked on the CFL on TSN.